We've gotten to the point that I've been kind of dreading and looking forward to for a while now. I got a couple of stories. About 37 and a half years ago, I saw one of those local news cut-ins on the Today Show. At the end, there was a commercial where it said News Center 22, as it was known, was expanding operations and they were hiring. At the time, I was, as we like to call it, on the beach. I had been let go from my radio job at WARE, so I sent a resume and inexplicably an audio tape demo reel. A week or so later, I was in a second-floor office at that rambling farmhouse of a television station on top of Proven Mountain in Feeding Hills. I was being interviewed by the news director, the late Keith Silver, and the production manager, Bill Pepin. At some point, I asked, "So what job are you trying to fill?" I was told that the station had started a noon newscast and their anchor had left on short notice. What? You're advertising on television to fill an anchor spot? Well, that was when Bill Pepin told me that the station was owned and built by a man who was kind of an oddball and had his own way of doing things. He said Bill Putnam thought that if you hired someone from the area, they'll stick around a while. Well, fast forward about 30 years and 6 or 7 station ownership changes, and I had the opportunity to interview Bill Putnam and Kitty Broman in this very building. We had been here in Chicopee about 12 years at that point, and it was the first time that Bill and Kitty had visited the new station. Well, during our sit-down, I told Bill and Kitty that story of my first job interview, about how Bill Pepin explained Bill Putnam's beliefs that hiring local people would stay. I kind of expected Bill to say something like, "See, I was right, and look how you turned out." But instead, Bill said, "Yeah, but you got a better offer and you left us." That was so Bill Putnam. I was flustered, and I didn't quite have the quick wit at the moment to tell Bill it wasn't a better offer, that sometimes it's not money and market size. It was life circumstances that moved me to take that job in Providence in 1995. And it was a miracle of fate that gave me the opportunity to come back here in 1998. It was one more example of how I've been very lucky in my life, a second chance. This station took a chance on a pretty green kid with a radio haircut 37 and a half years ago. I grew in this job both professionally and as a person. I learned about life in ways I couldn't have anticipated. We had our station holiday party and official Barry goodbye yesterday, and our senior producer, Kara Walsh, and the ridiculously talented videographer-editor Mike Hoole put together a video loop of me through the years. We're looking at it right here. 2 people who figured prominently in that loop, Dick and Rick Hoyt. There is a life-size bronze statue of Dick and Rick Hoyt near the starting line of the Boston Marathon in Hopkinton. They are legendary, and they are from Western Massachusetts. Rick is a quadriplegic and nonverbal, and Dick pushed his son Rick in specially made wheelchairs for marathons, triathlons, and Ironman competitions. When Rick was born, they were advised to put him in an institution. But instead, Dick and Judy Hoyt took Rick home, treating him like any of their other kids. Rick and his brothers developed a communication method where Rick would spell out words one letter at a time, indicating the letters with a blink of an eye. Dick and Rick have gone on to inspire families all over the world. People who have started their own Team Hoyt chapters, with parents pushing their disabled children in specialized chariots. I have covered the Hoyts my entire career, from the 1980s to 1991, when the government of El Salvador invited the Hoyts to participate in their first ever international triathlon. That's what we're looking at here. They brought the Hoyts there to inspire the countless families wounded and disabled by years of civil war and revolution. 22 News accompanied the Hoyts to El Salvador. News director Keith Silver, chief photographer Mike Gareffi, and current news director he is now, and me. All courtesy of Salvadoran government and Taka Airlines. It was an amazing week, with Rick, Dick, and Judy talking to people in schools, hospitals, and rehab in a third world country. Now, one of the last stories I was assigned to in Providence was for a motivational talk to middle school students, delivered by a man in a wheelchair who participated in road races with his father. I knew at the time who it was. What I didn't know at the time was Rick and a lot of very smart people had developed software that allows Rick to write and communicate with the aid of a computer. He prepares his speeches ahead of time, one letter at a time, delivered with a simulated voice. Rick graduated college and has authored 2 books that I know about. My last story on Rick and Dick was a few years ago when they were preparing for their last Boston Marathon. Mike Hoole and I were nominated for an Emmy in that story. We didn't win the Emmy, but it was one more opportunity for me to help spread Dick and Judy's message of inclusion, disability inclusion. People with disabilities deserve to enjoy all the experiences and fun in life that the rest of us able-bodied people do. It is a very positive message that I have tried to help the Hoyts and others promote over the years. In 2006, I broke both my ankles and leg bones. I missed a month of work, and 22 News welcomed me back and made accommodations as I made my way around the station in a wheelchair. 22 News also welcomed me back after my crash in Mexico in 2012, when I missed 3 months of work, and I was welcomed back after my 3-year hiatus in Providence. This station and you, the people of Western Massachusetts, have welcomed me and stood by me over the course of 4 decades. I am profoundly grateful. I love Western Massachusetts, and I plan to continue to live here and stay connected to my 22 News family and continue to say hello to the 100,000 friends or so that I haven't met yet, one at a time. I'll just be spending more time not working and finding new ways to enjoy my life. I'll see you out there, so be kind and stay safe. Gang? Maggie?
Maggie's here.
Anything you'd like to say, Maggie?
Maggie looks frightened. She had a bath today, and she's never happy about that.
I've only been here 8 months, and you were so welcoming since I've started, and I've learned a lot from you already. And it's been emotional to watch. You guys have all been here. I've been here, like I said, 8 months, and just to see everyone say goodbye, and there's some tears in the newsroom tonight.
Yeah. I get a lot of cards. I've been getting so much on social media. I'm sort of overwhelmed by the outpouring that I've received, and the other media are contacting me, the newspapers, radio stations. I'm going to be doing something with public television tomorrow. It's remarkable. I never set out to be the story. I just kind of wanted to tell the story. But I am glad you're here, Don, because you made this whole process much easier for me to make this transition.
Well, thank you.
What are your immediate plans other than being on public television tomorrow, Barry?
What are my immediate plans? You know, the more I've been hearing about this, I'm trying to come up with a good answer for that. But basically, I want to relax, and I want to see what happens, and I want to see how it turns out, and see what interests me and what we'll do next. And of course, I will be an ambassador for the station through some of the nonprofits and organizations, and Bob Simone's talking about special projects. We'll just have to wait to see what that is.
So you'll be popping in here and there.
All right, this is my goodbye, and I thank you for watching all these years and being kind to me as you have been.